feel like every spot I pick, there's something going on. I don't know if you can hear that in the back. What is up? What's going on, everybody? I am actually here at Best Buy, and this is the second time I've lost everything. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I didn't want my first video back to this channel to be this, but yes, this is the second time I've had an issue with an external hard drive, basically, where I keep all my files, all videos, backups, everything. I was literally just in the process of looking up things to buy as far as a recovery system, as you know, like something that is like 20 terabytes in that range, so I don't have to worry about it anymore, like the ultimate backup solution. And then now I'm gonna want a backup of a backup, so I might have two smaller ones and then a bigger one to kind of back that up, and then eventually maybe another big one to back that one up, because this has been an issue that will randomly hit you and you don't know what to do. So just kind of making this video for, first of all, I brought it to Best Buy. So this is the closest place to me. I do buy a lot of stuff here. You know, for the most part, I do buy Amazon, but I might be enticed to shop here more because they do have a pretty good membership over on Geek Squad. You get like 2 years coverage of anything you buy in the store. A lot of stuff is waived. You can use their diagnostics, and like there's a lot of benefits if you do shop here a lot, which I end up buying a lot of like hard drives and memory cards, and I'm always looking at the cameras and stuff like that. So yeah, that is enticing now, so I might end up signing for that. But I told them just let me know if it's even fixable first. So I took my hard drive in because it just randomly stopped working one day. And this is a hard drive, which I need to make some changes going forward. This is a hard drive that I back everything up to. So in the past, I've had one fail, so I'm like, okay, just never buy that brand again. And to be fair, that was a cheap one that I bought to start with. And it was more for photos. That's what it was advertised for. And I used it just as a backup. And I lost that one. Had to, I wouldn't say start over, because at that time I was editing and not making as many videos. So it was like, okay, I had already uploaded everything and it wasn't a big deal. I just didn't have a lot of my old footage to, you know, call back to, which is like when I have videos and there's like something I want to reference from an older video, I will pull clips. Or if I need clips for any other situation, like I always have these this backlog of older clips. So, you know, at that time it wasn't a big deal. Here, the way that I do things, I do have two main external hard drives. So I have one plugged directly into my MacBook at all times. I just stick it to the back and it's plugged in, which the wire's kind of acting up. But that one is the one that I strictly try to edit off of. So that has all my most current videos, which now I'm like, you know, panicking because I need to get this resolved so I can start making multiple backups on like a weekly basis, essentially. So I edit off of that one, and when I'm done editing, I move it over to what I have today, which is the WD Black. And I thought it was a good deal. I thought that was a good brand, and I have never dropped it. It stays on the desk a majority of the time. Sometimes I take it with me because, you know, I was kind of dumb and I left some folders on it that I never put on the smaller drive for editing. And I should have, because sometimes I would take it off the desk with me just to have the like two folders. And I was like, why don't I just copy them over? Because they were just overlays, sponsor logos, you know, stuff like that, brand logos. And I should have made a copy on that smaller drive so I could just edit completely without taking that off the desk, which I took a trip to Milwaukee recently for a special event, and I took both drives with me because I was like, I'm going to edit a video. I might need some clips or whatever. And I probably just didn't ever have to take it off the desk if, like I said, I had just made that duplicate folder on the editing hard drive. So, like I said, I've never dropped it. The only thing I did was take it through an airport, through TSA, over there. I think I did use it to edit one video, to have it uploaded while I was in the hotel. Got back and I know I was on the couch editing something else, and I quickly tried to put my laptop down and the hard drive swung out, right? But I caught it. It never fell. I was like, if anything, the connection might be damaged, but not really. Like, it stayed plugged in, and I think I unplugged it because it was already loose, and I put it down. And then I went to go use it like 2 days later, which was last night, and it just doesn't want to pick up. So essentially on my MacBook, it doesn't show up whatsoever. On my Windows, you can hear that it's been plugged in, like the little tone, and it just never shows up. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's a connection issue or what. I tried different cables, tried different things, and try to get into, like, I know how to get around on the Windows a little bit more, and I just cannot pick it up. So I was like, we're going to try Best Buy first, see what they say. Best case scenario, well, I mean, the ultimate best case is if they could just figure out why it's not picking up and resolve that issue, like you said, with drivers or updated drivers or whatever it is. But I'm thinking best case scenario is he backs it up, he's able to get into it, and then I just recover it and put it on another drive, and I'm probably just not going to use that drive anymore. And here's the issue. I was editing as quickly as I could, but I have good and bad things. So I have videos for the next couple of weeks already uploaded, so I typically try to get these done for the next month. So a lot of what I have is already edited and done for the next few weeks. But when that happens, I delete it off of the editing hard drive because I'm moving it over to the backup hard drive, which is the one that messed up. And I don't have like access to those anymore. So once they're done, which is not the worst thing in the world because technically I am done with it. But every now and then, like I said, I might need B-roll. I might need footage from an older video to kind of make sense of another video. There's one that I've been working on, but like I did finish it. So like sponsorship videos, tutorial videos, how-to videos. If we can't fix it, that's all lost. The first time it happened, here's a quick tip. I wanted to make a video on it, but if you guys are content creators, you're going to get a bunch of emails. You're going to get a bunch of spam. Now, usually you can tell by the email address where it's coming from. If it's a bunch of weird numbers, there's a bunch of weird addresses, right? So that's a dead giveaway. But some of them get creative, and just like with anything, they just get really good. So now they'll give you not only text, because usually it was like text, and it's like, please reach out or respond or download this file. If they ask you to download anything, do not download it. Most reputable companies, real companies, will just send you like photos or like a PDF that you can view without downloading, and your terms and conditions would be there with deliverables you need and all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to say that they're milking it, but there's like 3 guys blowing the same exact area. But yeah, they get really creative. So now in your emails, you're gonna see like graphics that look like they're from the actual website. So I don't know how they probably screenshot and make it their own. Like I've gotten some for DJI, Netflix, Hulu, Insta360, although I have worked with Insta360, so that's why I know for a fact they won't ever, ask you to download anything. They just propose something, and if you agree, then they get your address, and that's about it. So yeah, just a word of advice for anybody that's doing content creation: be careful with your email. So if it's legit and they want to work with you, they're either gonna ask you what your rate is and then pay you somehow. I've been paid through PayPal, mailed checks, things like that. I never have to go and sign in anywhere. Do not do that. There's always like phishing going on, like where they send you a link and they're tracking what you type in so they can get your passwords, all that kind of stuff. If you download something, which I did in the beginning, even though I knew it was a scam, it was when I was trying different channels out. It was before this tech channel. And I was trying to do either tech, I was trying to do gaming, I was trying to do like all these things. And I just never had time, but I was, uploading random stuff. And one of the emails I got was for a video game that was coming out. I was like, this is too good to be true. I know it's not real. So I think I opened it like on an old laptop or something. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to see what it looks like. Well, I had my hard drive plugged in. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how these viruses work. But I know it started acting up or the computer. And then I was able to save the computer, but then the hard drive happened to be plugged in and it just stopped working. So that's where I kind of learned, even though I knew better. But if you guys do content, be careful with your emails. Like I said, any actual brand will reach out and just introduce themselves, kind of tell you what product they want you to push, if you can work together. If they don't if they're very vague, I just say yes or let me know more. I'd love to hear more details, and then kind of engage that conversation. But if it's a bunch of like, I don't know, bot replies or pushing me to download something or pushing me, because I have a MacBook and I'm kind of in the Apple ecosystem because they are harder to get viruses. Just in general, I'm not sure if that is still true now, but I know it's always been a thing. And I've noticed on some of them, I'm like, yeah, like I don't reply, or I'm like, trying to get them to negotiate, and they're like, no, you need to go look at the file I sent you. You need to download it. And then they always say, or it's extra fishy when they say, make sure you do it on Windows. You used to get scammed through phone calls, right? Because they would ask you for your credit card information or whatever. That's upgraded to text messages, where I get a bunch of texts where it's like, hey, you have a package, we weren't able to deliver it, blah, blah, blah. But it's not a real number. It's like something at iCloud or something. It's like an email, right? So those are fake. Or the toll road ones, or it's like, you owe so much money, you need to contact us to resolve it, and this and that, which they're probably going to get your credit card information or something like that. If it's a really big company, and I've talked to several people and I've had the Zoom call meetings, and there's just been that relationship built, then yes, I do have a separate account that they can do direct deposit to, and that's about it, right? So still get a lot of mail checks. That's how a lot of them still work, so that's fine. I have a PO box, which is another tip. Do not or try not to have anything out there with my home address. It is a PO box. This setup I do today should last me, because I don't record in raw files. I don't save raw files. I don't do any of that. I'm not that, into it. I record a lot on my phone, on action cameras, and now with this camera, the files were way too big. So I decided to go with what they offer on the Panasonic is MP4 Lite, which means I can also transfer these to my phone through a Bluetooth connection if I wanted to. Like, let's say I film something and I immediately want to post it to social media, I can just transfer it over because the files are more compressed. They're much smaller files. So I left it on MP4 Lite for that reason, but the footage still looked great, so I'm not worried about it. All right, so my day is almost done. It's basically 4 o'clock. I just picked up my son, dropped him off, and still no word. So it's been there 6 hours or so. Still nothing yet. Still fingers crossed. Hopefully they'll have an update soon. But I have to get home, take I have a sponsorship meeting right now, and then I have to podcast tonight. So tell me why I even trusted Geek Squad. A day and a half later, and I was like, I just want an answer, right? Obviously, they could have told me sooner, because I got a call today after work, the next day. And it's like, sir, we we tried connecting it to all of the computers that we have here, and there was one Windows computer that it like wants to recognize it, but it doesn't. And yeah, we can't do anything. We can format it and maybe run a recovery on that, but I was like, no. It not being picked up is exactly why I brought it in. Now, I don't typically, I don't know, Geek Squad I think is good for like standard services, like with iPhones and tablets and stuff, and backing up stuff. There's a lot of older people that come here, so like if they need, because they were trying to pitch me their membership, which I only would have bought if they could recover the data, because then it paid for itself and I would get coverage on anything else that I bought, which I did. I am going to do my own recovery from now on this is all I had, so but it was on sale. It is 26 terabytes, so we're gonna figure it out ourselves. Now I'm gonna get back to my office. I still got things to do. I got a podcast to do right now too, but I'm gonna show you what I bought, and I ordered some stuff as well, so that's coming in already tomorrow. So let me show you what I'm gonna do so that this doesn't happen a third time, because third time is not happening. It's not a charm. I don't want this to happen again. Lesson learned. And I've always had external hard drives or some sort of memory to offload off of when I started, it was on my phone, an iPad, or my phone, then my iPad, and I had, drives that I would put it on, and those were kind of finicky because, trying to put a flash drive or whatever to your phone when it was lightning connection always sucked. And I always knew the importance of backing up. I just didn't have a backup of my backup, and I started offloading, deleting files on my main source or the memory cards or whatever it was that I was using at the time. And what sucks is I had just thought, yes, I do need to finally get a legit bigger drive that can hold everything. And the plan was to fill these up as I went. And the other thing is, like, going from Windows to PC is a whole other thing, because I have this other one that I had, once the original drive failed that I had, I went and bought this one, got a really good deal. I mean, they're all the same parent company, but this Easy Store has everything from summer of 2024 back a few years. So this is almost filled up. It's 5 terabytes. It's almost filled up. And I just couldn't continue to use it because when I got the Mac, this wasn't formatted for that. And I didn't want to lose everything, and I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So I went and got a new one specifically for Mac. And when I had to do it through Windows, putting these files onto this one so I could offload this one at certain times, which still wasn't a backup and like a double backup, but that should have been on this other drive at some point. I had stopped doing it about a year ago. So this is the expansion from Seagate. It is 26 terabytes. Just so you guys can see the box here. There's vents here at the bottom, vents on this side. You're gonna have your typical connections here, your hard drive, and it does require a power supply that is in the box. I already have it plugged in. So yeah, and then vents on this side, and then back and front don't. This part doesn't. It has rubber feet here, so it's supposed to sit like this, but I'm probably gonna stand it up this way with the ports up, because I do have something that I'll recommend right now. And this will be the flat side on the bottom, so it's not going to interfere with any of the vents. So I'm going to see how that works. Hopefully it doesn't need to be oriented any specific way. All right, so first of all, the reason I went with this one, now unfortunately it is only a USB 3.0, so it's not the fastest out on the market, but they had it in store. I could pick it up, and I already got stuff backing up to it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the whole time machine. I am on a MacBook Pro. Typically, the way I do things, just in case, which again is really bugging me that I let this happen twice, but I usually think of, things that can happen. So and I understand Time Machine can help you back up your computer in case something happens. You can, restore it on a new computer or wipe it and start over and still have your stuff. But I would have to format this, and I believe at that point it's Mac only, versus right now it'll work on Mac or Windows, so I can back up or, at least move files to it that I need, like important files. I don't typically need a whole backup of my computer. And, for that reason, I don't think I'll use the Time Machine feature. This does have some recovery and backup options, but this is the one that I bought. Now, initially, I'm just going to share with you really quick in case you guys are looking for one and you might be looking at something similar. So they start here at 8 terabytes. So I was just trying to get something simple. I was like, I need something a little bit bigger. 169, not too bad, right? And then the 16 terabyte is twice the memory. And I believe it was like 60, what is it? Yeah, like 60, 70 bucks more. So I was like, maybe I should go with this one. But then for some reason after that, all the other options are way cheaper. They're all on sale right now for some reason. These were the same price. That was the deal. So I was like, I'm already looking at the 16. Let me get the 20 for the same exact price. It was 50 bucks off. And I was like, I wonder what the next one costs, right? 22 was 249. So I was like, okay, $20 difference. I can get a couple more terabytes. What is the next price? $329, right? For some reason, I don't know. I think I saw it in store. I didn't even like at $329. I kind of stopped and went back to the 22 terabyte. For some reason, you pay less to get more. So this one is $100 off. So it is, the 26 terabyte is cheaper than the 24 terabyte. And then after that, I didn't want to go crazy with it. So, I mean, that was the only one that I noticed was on sale. $100 off is a good deal. See right here, if I would have paid an extra $80, I could have got a couple more terabytes. So just depends on what you're looking for. The 26 at 250 was too good to pass up. Like I said, unfortunately, it's USB 3.0. I typically like 3.1, 3.2, but it works. I can leave it overnight to transfer files if I need to, if I'm transferring 2-3 terabytes of storage, which I do need to from that that one that I do still have, right? The Easy Store. And when I had my other external hard drives, because I don't like to leave them on the desk, I'd rather them have a little shelf on their own. I'll link the one that I had exactly, but something like this. So this is supposed to be a laptop holder. So if you have your laptop to your monitor and you put this on the side of the desk, you can set it up to where it's like closed, it still turns on or still works, and your monitor, your keyboard or mouse is how you control it. So that's what typically these things are for. But I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. I can hold other stuff in there. So I bought that and I have it. Like I said, I'll link it. And what I do is I have it here wedged between the desk and the computer, and it's clamped on. And I had these external storages just right there laying inside, and the little cord was sticking out, right? So I would just plug them in to the computer. If I ever took the laptop, I would just quickly unplug them, take the laptop with me. But those always stayed there, and I wish I had left it there because it was working up until I took my trip. So from now on, that 26 terabyte is not leaving this area. Basically, like I said, I don't like to keep anything on the laptop. I don't want the laptop memory itself to get full, because in it, you run into a whole bunch of issues where it slows down. You can't do this, you can't do that. And again, if you need to take it with you, it's a little easier to have that extra storage be portable. And if you're going from laptop to laptop, or you need to do something else, that's why I like to do the external storages. So once I figure out the next setup that I'm going with, because I just ordered a bunch of stuff off of Amazon as well, we'll follow up. We'll do a new video. We'll kind of get into that. Eventually, I want to do a desk tour type of thing. Unfortunately, I can't believe I let this happen to me twice. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, want to see anything, I'm going to start posting again. I do want to go over a lot of the new stuff that's been coming out. There's new cameras, new mics. I have, a new setup as well. I want to go over like the everyday stuff, or the stuff that I carry every day to film on the spot, film at work. And then also the what I took like to my Milwaukee trip when I wanted to have a better quality of video, or I knew I was going specifically to do interviews and content and B-roll and all that kind of stuff. And I bought stuff to do that trip, and then I bought stuff now reacting to this horrific, catastrophic issue. And I'm buying stuff currently just to kind of uh, level up, be ready, make everything efficient, and make sure this doesn't happen again. And I'm going to be moving offices very soon, so I'll be able to show you what this looks like. The next desk setup, I'm going to have 2 desks. I'm going to have a little bit of a bigger studio and a whole bunch more content coming. So appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like this video if it was interesting or helpful. And if you comment, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to answer some comments that I've gotten over the past few months, and I appreciate everybody that's come by the channel. It's been doing well while I've been gone. It's just been a hectic summer. Did this Milwaukee trip, then I had to deal with all this crap, and it's just really annoying. So like I said, not how I wanted to come back, but we're gonna get back into it. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys.